Well, thank you, Iris, and I just want to thank you all for the opportunity to talk to you this morning about a project that we have in Ohio. It's a research project that we're working with the local Arboretum and the Electric Power Research Institute. So we'll start with that, and I'll follow up with a video of a site visit that we had to the project and share that with you. So we all know that we can't have danger trees on our right-of-ways, and utilities do a really good job of cleaning this kind of stuff off. But if you have a line that looks like this, it's just devoid of wildlife. You know, it's a forester's dream, but it doesn't really meet the goals that we're trying to accomplish here. We don't have the biodiversity, we don't have the wildlife, we don't have the pollinators. And knowing how important that is and how our different investor groups, our stakeholder groups, they're all asking about this. What are you doing to manage your habitats? You know, on your right-of-ways, at your generation facilities? What are you doing to protect pollinators? So what we really want is habitat that looks like this, where we have the diversity, we have the wildlife, we have the pollinators. So how do we get there? It's nice to have, right? A lot of us have stewardship programs. We have a few acres here, a few acres there, but it's always challenging. I've heard that discussion more than once. I heard it yesterday, is getting funding for this. They're cutting my funding, or how do I justify this? So can we make a business case for this? And we think we can. If you put the right vegetation on the ground, can we get better erosion control and vegetative cover? Can we get better woody plant suppression? Can we get the ecological benefits which seem obvious? And can we improve our community engagement? You know, we're working with property owners all the time. Sometimes they resist putting in a new transmission line. The farmers may be concerned. We just heard that this morning, if we're using too many herbicides or if we're introducing weeds into our seed mixes. So, but we do think there is a way to make this business case. So we all have examples, right, where we've used the typical cool season turf grasses, the tall fescue, Kentucky bluegrass, and we have failures. This is just a shot of one of ours where it didn't come in so good. And can we substitute native seed mixes for this? So there's the same site, you know, where we got some partridge pea in there, we got some clover, we get some of the native grasses, and it's better soil erosion, you get the deeper roots. And kind of looking at a schematic of this, you see this kind of diversity. The deeper roots improves the soil quality, improves our erosion control, especially on slopes. This diversity of the plants and the species will bring in the pollinators, not just them, but the smaller rodents. Let's say that eat the seeds, they'll eat the tree seeds. So there's lots and lots of benefits here. And that's the way we can keep, at least in our thought, we can keep the trees out. And if we can just save a little bit of money up front, think of these as long-term projects. So if you you might spend a little bit more up front to get that seed mix in, but over a 10, 15, 20-year cycle of managing that right away, you're going to recoup those costs. So we've been working with the Dawes Arboretum, which is located in Newark, Ohio, which is just east of Columbus, where we're headquartered. They have a long track record of doing habitat restoration work, and it just so happens we have a right-of-way right through their property. And they have voluntarily done some work to put in native vegetation, such as this prairie planting here. If you look way in the background, you can see one of our transmission towers. And they did this on their own several years ago. You can see the great results they've had. They just mow this once a year. And we thought, well, if they can make this work on their own, can we put some more funding to this work, grow the scope of this project, and so, you know, and learn some more from it. So working with the Electric Power Research Institute and ourselves, we put some funding on this project to expand it, and we developed a project on the site. So you can see here the right-of-way line kind of goes right down through the middle of the slide. I can almost reach it. Right there is one of our transmission towers. So we have 3 forested plots. Over to the right, we have 3 ag plots to the left. They're growing corn and pumpkins in the ag plot, ag side there, and we put down native seed mixes, about 25 species in this seed mix. So this is how we set this up. We did this last year. So to get started in the forested plots, we took down the trees. We kind of simulate a new transmission project where you take down the trees, you'd have construction pads, things of that nature. We tilled the site. Hand seeded is 14 pounds bulk seed, 8 pounds pure live seed of about 25 species. It's hand seeded because the plots are so small, maybe 100 by 100 or 100 or 200 feet by 50 feet. They're not real big. We cultipacked, mulched, and within 4 weeks we had vegetation growing, at least what we felt would have been 70% coverage, and this is what the site looked like later that summer. So we did the plantings around April and May. By June, July, this is what it looked like. So we had such great success, we wanted to host a site visit to share this with our transmission folks. So this past July, we brought out distribution, transmission, right-of-way managers, and people to the site, and we did a video of that visit. So that's what we'll show you now, because it can speak a lot better than I can about the excitement we have about this work.
Sorry. Sorry.
That's Gina Bird, by the way, the Director of Land Conservation at the Arboretum. She's the one that took this initiative to do the work. So as soon as we get the sound going. It's really nice music. It's a lot better.
Maybe you could just sing for us.
It was a good day. We had about 50 people. We put them on like trailers kind of factory. We did invite other folks there.
This audio input here.
Run with the sound.
We tested it, I promise.
Hey, I unmuted it.
Denison University helped with
It's playing on the.
I heard it ding. It's a video, shouldn't it? I heard it ding.
And we are monitoring the birds, bees, and butterflies at the site. And we only monitor
Is
about
the
twice.
volume of this adjusted?
Yeah, the video has some volume itself too.
You do realize, you know, you could be out there on a bad day or a good day. And, you know,
Is it muted?
how many species are
No.
It's a 5-year project, I forgot to mention that. We're going to monitor these sites for a 5-year period. So this is the
There's no
second year,
slash to it.
3 more years. The idea is to look at tree inhibition, look at the diversity over time.
Yeah,
You know,
played earlier.
Basics come in, and we have got a little bit of physical showing up.
Is there anything you
No
can
half
adjust
and
in here?
flux. One half is just left to grow, the other half is more once a year. You know, typically we don't mow the right of way. We manage it for prairie, where we do mow periodically. We're just using that to see how that works. What you're going to see here is mostly the forested plots. So we do have some shots for the ag plots. Ag plots didn't come in quite as well. Right next to the field, corn.
So, is
Field
there
where we
anything we
think
can
there's
like
some
reset?
herbicide drift. But the mowing really made a difference. It was striking where they mowed, we had a lot more partridge, flowers, versus just a lot of crabgrass and flies. So I'm running out of stuff to talk about.
Okay.
I have a clip, I mean, maybe just run off this, or just right?
I think it's just the sound. Why don't we have to take a couple questions and we'll try to get the sound figured out here. If there are any questions for Tim?
Did you ding this?
If we can't get
Try to
the video
do that one
now.
more time.
Okay.
The speaker.
Dave,
Give some feedback after the visit. That's probably not.
All those of you?
Afterwards, can you talk about what people's reaction was?
Yeah, the reaction was really, really good.
Those are all.
A lot of questions too, but our foresters, they were convinced that this kind of thing will work. A lot of times, when I showed you the 2 different seed mixes, like the landfill site where it wasn't coming in real good, and we say we want to sub out a native seed mix, they said, well, you don't have a guarantee on that. A contractor won't give you a guarantee a lot of the times. So we just wanted to show them that, yeah, we could plant this and do a comparison. We did have cool season turf grass is separating the different plots that we had. And they were convinced that it will work. And we actually got a lot of questions. Well, where can I do this? Will this work on mulch? Will this not work? What happens if I spray it with an herbicide? Will it come back? So we kind of made that leap that this will actually work. Now, again, this is just one site. It rained. We did really well. But like the following summer, it was really, really dry, and it was still looked just as nice as the pictures that I'm showing you there. So I think there was, yeah.
So when you did your forest clearing, what did you do with the debris? Did you mulch it on site or did you haul it off?
They took it off to the side. It was, they took the trees off.
Okay. So was there like brush undergrowth in there, or was it mostly just trees?
You know that first shot I showed you, the danger trees? That's what it looked like. And that shot right there was of the trees that were before we got there.
Because it seems that if you're going to do that on a larger scale, hauling things off isn't always very effective. And on site, it seems that, at least what I have found, if you have any chips, it just seems to slow or inhibit some of the seed germination.
I think that's why they were asking us the questions, because on a practical basis, we wouldn't, on a larger project, take the trees off. They'd mulch them in place. Now, on smaller projects, if you're just putting in new towers, you know, and that surrounding vegetation, you could do that. But that's why they were asking. And I heard from one person at a utility saying if you hydro-seeded directly down into the mulch, you might get some success. I guess he felt that some of the seeds would get down into those crevices, but I think more often than not, at least the anecdotal information is it's not very effective.
Hydro seeding is a lot more expensive than just direct seeding.
There's that too, yes.